Hello, folks, and welcome back to Tyranny. As always, of course, I am Falcon, your host. We're going to go ahead and jump right into here. We are inside the second of the towers, the pillars, or whatever the hell they're calling them. The spires. There we go. We're in the second spire at the moment. The one that is near the map. Hell's the goddamn map. Oh, but for real though, where's the map? Aha. Interesting that the map doesn't show up there. Lethian's Crossing. There we go. Couldn't remember the name of the damn town that we were in. Which of course is one of the options that we could have done during the invasion, like pre-game aspect thing. We could have been one of the administrators here, which probably would have made things a lot easier for us. But as it happened, we didn't do that. And we ended up having to fight a mercenary group that was controlling the town. It's of course no longer a problem, but something sounds like this friends. Sounds like there's friends ahead of us somewhere. Oh, why is this what is this? Oh. Okay.
I'm seeing a lot in this room I'd like to sketch, but we should keep moving.
Yeah, probably. So right now, we have Siren Alon, who's our newest person. She's, of course, the Archon of Son, or whatever the hell she's called. Lantry, who, of course, is our healer slash scholar type person. Siren is basically our chanter, or whatever the hell that class was called, from Pillars of Eternity. Barrack, of course, who is our tank, and having him as a tank is essentially the whole reason that you put him in the party. Like, that is his existence. That is his purpose in life, is to be a tank. And, of course, our main Lamoral, who is a spell-slinging rogue, because that's the thing in this game. But what the fuck? Chamber immediately reminds you of Ascension Hall. An intricate rune carving along the floor can mean only one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across a great distance. As you gaze upward, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to unending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendrian's well. Hold a moment. Lantry bellows the comment louder than needed, smiling as he hears his voice echo through the massive chamber. If my sense of direction is at all reasonable, we are standing below the spire in this region. Hey, what do you know of the spires? Raises an eyebrow. Well, about as much as you, I'm afraid. Until our time at Vendrian's well, I didn't realize there was a way to access the upper reaches. Speaking of which, I'm certain there's a way to access the top of this spire as well. Let's keep our eyes out for sigils or glyphs nearby. What would you recommend? It points to the pattern on the floor. I'd start with the grooves and stones on the floor over there. If it's like the spire at Vendrian's well, whoever built this created a mystical conduit to the top. And I'd say it's very, very unlikely that the pattern is purely decorative. We can press on. Okay, well... Can we... see... Don't think we can. I was gonna say, can we see what the, Clues on the floor are inlaid with a dim incandescent material that glimmers upon close inspection. They appear to intersect at various angles, forming a myriad of potential shapes. Perhaps there are clues in the architecture of the room as to the pattern it once held. Clues in the architecture of the room. Huh? Clues in the architecture of the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Huh?
If I had a copper ring for every glyph I've sketched today.
I don't... what? Okay, well, it's obvious that you click on these and do them in a certain way. And then if you do it the right way, it'll trigger the thing. Clearly. The sunken relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw at the Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, and thus the final form of the rune is unknown. Oh, we could have done this. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. With enough collected imprints, it may be possible to reconstruct the original shape of the rune. As you work, Lantry hovers near. See how that pattern looks broken along two edges? I think there's more to the engraving than what's here. And we'll look for more. Agreed. If we collect enough sketches and imprints, we could no doubt reconstruct the original image in its entirety. Well, I know where there was another one. There was another one back in that first area that I didn't do because I didn't realize it was something that I could interact with. I thought it was something else. I thought it was something that we would have to come back to and bring something to it, is what actually I thought we were going to have to do with it. But that's clearly not the case. There's, of course, this door that we can't get open. There's that, but I don't think that does anything. And then there's this. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image. So we've got more of the symbol, one more, and it should be complete. One more. One more. One more. I have seen... more.
Can't do that.
I don't know what that's... I don't know where we're supposed to find one more. I haven't seen another one. Oh yeah, here's the details about things. I heard sawn stuff a little bit if you want to read it. I already have a pretty good idea of how that works because, again, it was essentially the Chanter, or whatever the hell the one class was called from Pillars of Eternity. It's essentially the exact same thing. Since this is made by the same people, it basically is the same shit. Can we look at... examine the rubbing. How precisely do we examine the rubbing? Does it give us a physical item that we can look at? Ah. Determine the significance of the rubbing. I mean, I know what it is. I know what it's for. Hold on. I'm wondering if this sigil here has anything to do with it. Because it's not exactly the same. But it looks vaguely similar in a lot of ways. It looks very, very similar, but it's clearly not the exact same thing. It's just very similar to it. I didn't realize you could actually look at the thing there. Yeah, I don't know where there's supposed to be another thing to look at, because I don't see another one if there is another one. Oops. Okay, so there's triangle. Triangle, triangle. I don't know if there's like a specific point that we're supposed to start at. Oh, what the hell? Interesting. Oops. Almost looks like it has a little bit of a circle there. So maybe this is part of it. And then this has the outside part there, which doesn't actually show up on this, despite looking like it kind of should. And then this says there's something about the room. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Because that looks like there's a very faint circle there, which you can't really see. What did I do? Oh, did I actually figure it out? Was that it? Really? That's it? Okay. If you say so. Because it looks like on that there's more to it. It looks like the outer wing there looks like it should be part of a thing too. But apparently not. Because we opened a portal. I don't know where this portal goes or what it's supposed to do, but we opened a portal. And it seems to be the right portal too. Nah, I don't fucking know. It's cool though, we did it. Or so it seems anyway. And kaboom. Kaboom. What the hell are you doing over there, cat? Whatever. The arcane light courses skyward, trailing off toward the horizon in the direction of Vendrian's well. You feel the ground ripped out from beneath you yet again as you drift back into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. Your awareness stretches beyond the limits of the spire, pulling in many directions at once. The light you saw arcing through the sky reminds you of the tether you feel to the top of Vendrian's well. This too is a point of connection, and you are an inextricable part of it, bound as surely as the spires are to each other. The sense that Spire and Lethian's crossing feels burdened by its age, as if a central linchpin somewhere in its core has weathered the centuries of oppressive weight from lawns to topple. The surge of energy that courses through you, forming a link with Vendrian's well, strengthens the very stones beneath your feet. The structural weakness you detected vanishes, replaced by confidence that could keep this tower standing for millennia. Oh, so us activating it actually repaired the tower. Interesting. And tell me where you're writing from, Lantern speaks aloud as he pens a missive, and how to reach you, and I will send you an iron ring for your troubles. He signs his name with a flourish and then tosses the parchment into the wind. In the blink of an eye, the heavy curtains carry the slip of parchment eastward. I had this idea of a message in a bottle without the bottle. Maybe it'll work. Forgot to do his voice at the beginning of that. I mean, that's actually kind of a cool idea. I mean, mostly pointless, but kind of cool, nevertheless. From here, even the old walls seem paltry. The sovereign view was not intended for the likes of us. Beric shakes his head slowly. Who knew that all this was up here while I sat below, wasting my time trying to gather a group of followers from the refugees in Lethian's Crossing? The untapped power in the Spire is astounding. I must find out how to get some. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. The Spire feels like a relay between you and Vendrian's well, bridging some transference of energy at an enormous scale. You're the first link of a chain that stretches the length of the realm. As you struggle to understand the sensation, you grow aware of whispers all around you. We can attempt to repress it, or we can listen closer. I think we should listen closer. The whispers themselves seem to travel down the tether between you and your spires, conducting heat that feels at times unbearable. They speak of your actions, your choices, everything that led you to this place. What was this? I just got distracted looking at the figures on the outside of the wall here. Your name is known, your banner recognized, your deeds reported across the tiers and the Northern Empire alike. For an instant, you can see the accumulated hope and fear these whispers represent. It appears like dewdrops, settling on a leaf, then trickling into a shared basin. The image is fed to you through your connection, a base metaphor that only hints at the true scope. There is power in these spires, though its source is unfamiliar. Were you to harness it, you suspect that nothing would stand beyond your reach. Unlocking the spire seems to have opened some deeper connection. I don't know what you've done, but standing near you warms my rusted plates. Makes me feel somewhat lighter. Curious. I'm noting something I also observed at the spire in Vendrian's well. There's a mystic hum, and it has little beats when you walk, tiny fluctuations when you talk. Unless my senses are deceiving me, you and the spires are mystically attuned to each other. Most fascinating indeed. A quill pen appears in his hand, and the old sage begins furiously jotting notes on his arm. I feel it too. The air is thick up here, isn't it? Exactly the opposite of what you'd expect. The magic up here is almost like a physical presence. Oh. What have we done? Do I get to pick all of these? Okay. So you are... So this spire looks like it's the one that does, like, merchants and stuff. This spire gives us these various things. I think forge is what we primarily want, although I do also want the library if we can get both of them. So constructing a library on a spire allows you to research magical knowledge, edicts, and artifacts. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to lore and all magic skills. Constructing training grounds allows you to recruit the finest skill trainers in the tiers. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to accuracy, athletics, and subterfuge. Forge allows you to improve weapons and armor and forge powerful new items. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to armor, parry, and dodge. Or the infirmary allows you to brew potions and other consumables. Endurance, will, and magic defense from resting. Okay. So we definitely want either the forge or the library. The other two I'm far less interested in. The main thing I'm interested in is edicts. Which probably gives you a pretty good potential idea of what I was saying earlier about the thing that I suddenly had understood about the deep lore of this game and stuff. That right there probably gives you a pretty clear, if you think even a little bit about it, probably gives you a pretty clear idea of what I was talking about. I'm just saying. Still not going to actually straight up reveal it, but not yet anyway. But yeah. Okay, shit. I think I can only build one of these here too, and then we'll have to go build... like when we claim the next spire, we can build the next one. Because there's 4 upgrades, and there's 4 more spires, counting this one, in addition to the original one that we can claim. So I'm pretty damn sure that... fuck. I think we go with the forge right now. Action cannot be cancelled and cannot be undone, I imagine, because once you built it, you've got that at that particular location. I'm going to go with the Forge, though, because I think I would prefer to have the Forge at the present moment. The library thing, I think, is a really cool thing to have, but I feel like that is something that we should be doing a little bit later. I feel like the library and the stuff that comes with the library is more like slightly further into the game type stuff that we should be working on, and not the kind of stuff that we should necessarily be fiddling with too much right now. That's basically how I feel. So we've acquired a second spire. All spires are linked, allowing you to travel instantly between them. This will reduce your travel time through the tiers. You can upgrade spires once you the spires that you discover, building new structures on top of them. Each upgrade will provide you with different benefits. Click on the spire icon or press H to select an upgrade for your new spire. Upgrades take time and money to build, and money to maintain. If you no longer have the money to maintain an upgrade, it will be suspended, and you will no longer receive its benefits until you're able to pay its maintenance cost. Ooh. Okay. There are 5 resources you can find in Kairos' tiers that can be used to power upgrades to your spires. They are scrolls, iron ingots, bronze ingots, alchemy supplies, and hide. The hell does the hide go to? Scrolls, obviously the library. Iron and bronze ingots, obviously the forge. Alchemy stuff, I guess, would be the infirmary thing. Hide? But like, what the hell does the hide go to? Because I don't know why the training grounds would require hide. That doesn't make sense. Each upgrade uses different resources. Okay. So, maintenance of 2 of that and 50 of that, due in 5 days. So we're fine on that. That's not really an issue. Oh, so there is people you can hire here as well. Okay. So what we got? Skill trainer. Fire, frost, lightning, and vigor. That would actually be pretty good. Master trainer teaches control vigor and control stone. Light armor, metal armor. Provides bronze ingots. Oh. Will provide these things, so will actually be a resource production system for us for those 2 materials. Ooh. That's we should probably get those as soon as we can. Unfortunately, I don't have the money for either of them right now, but we should probably get those as soon as we can get them, because that will be... I'm sure you need those to make weapons and stuff at the forge here. And we probably need them to build new upgrades and stuff as time goes on, I expect. I just have the merchants at that one. I didn't buy any skill trainers. I don't know that I care too much about the skill trainers here. I think I primarily want the merchants again and the brazen and smelting guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I would have enough to buy one more person. So I would get one of them eventually, but I'm not going to hire anybody right now, though, as much as I would like to, because nah, I'm not going to hire anybody right now because I need to save the money. There's some weapons and things that I would like to buy, and we just can't do that if we go out and burn a bunch of stuff. Now I did... Oh, it actually did not save things. I had gone through and set up this, but it seems that I have screwed that up since fiddling with that, unfortunately. So, yeah, let's assign this to you. I basically had turned her into a fire mage, essentially, because I gave her all of the fire abilities. Which I think we will continue to fiddle with, actually, because I think I like having you set up with the fire capabilities. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Does that do... Oh, okay, so that will make them have frozen in Mage Fire. Oh, okay. That's what makes that so powerful. Because it doesn't do any actual increased damage, but it adds that, which this normally would not have as a fireball type spell. Interesting. Okay, oops. Didn't mean to exit out there. I also gave her one of these. Not that. Stone Spike? Yeah, I think I gave you Stone Spike. And then I had done that. And that was all I could do. And then I think I gave her the Gift of Golem too for the armor bonus, because that is actually... Oh, no, I didn't, because that is too intensive for her to be able to use. What else did I give her then? Because there was a couple other things that I gave her, and now I don't remember what I gave her. Don't remember what all I gave her now. Grounding Core. Oh, I didn't have that before. On melee hit, so that would do shock damage to anybody who hits you. That was kind of cool. Gives armor against certain types of things. Of course, the defensive stuff, atrophy, percussive bolt or haste. No. Rage, mind, taunting jest. I really don't remember what I had given her before, because it doesn't seem to be giving me the same options that I had previously. Which I guess for the most part is fine. I'm just a little bit annoyed that I'm not getting the same options that I had before with her, but whatever. So what does this do? Okay. Oh, it adds performance skill. But it's really shit as a weapon. Really shitty as a weapon, but it's fine. So we actually don't even need to fuck with that, because I already found the recipe to get in here, because I'm badass. All right, so let's do some exploring here real quick. We will talk to him in a second, but I would like to pick up. That's how to make weapons, I'm assuming. I would like to pick up some of the junk that's around here, though, before we fiddle with other things too a hell of a lot. Ooh, bronze ingots. Lots of them, too. Nice. We'll take it. Maybe this will have iron ingots, because that would be nice. Aha, it does. Figured. Kind of figured that it would. Oh, what's this?
You see what I see?
Resides in the bank of the large river. What settlement is that? Ooh, a weapon. Kind of it's one-handed. Ooh. Oh, why the hell? Why are you equipped with the bow? Hold on, that's not what I want. All right, so does more damage, but loses armor penetration, which I'm not a fan of. It's actually a pretty good weapon, though, so... Not totally opposed. Definitely not totally opposed. This is an impact spell to pierce through targets in a line. Ooh. Interesting. So... Impact. Sigil of Piercing. Interesting. Doesn't work with that one. Does this turn it into like a lightning bolt? Yeah, I think it does. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I don't think I can use it with anything, though, with upgrades at least. Which is unfortunate, but I suppose that's not hugely surprising, really. So that can be used with some of these, not all of them, but certainly some of them. Okay. I'm actually really tempted to make a spell with that, but unfortunately, I can't. He needs to get a little bit more lore for me to be able to make it with the upgrade, which is what I would want. I probably want to do fire a lot with him anyway. I would do Rhyme Spike, do a Rhyme Spike version, or just do straight up replace the existing Rhyme Spike version, possibly. Alright, so greetings, Fate Binder. How may I help you? I found reference to a dagger called Heart's Blood. Can you tell me about it? Heart's Blood? Really? Well, let me see that book. Looks at it. Oh, this is incredible. Unfortunately, the information in that book isn't sufficient for me to recreate it. If you're able to give me more information on it, I could probably make it for you. I found this hilt in the old wall, so can you tell me about it? It looks like the hilt of Sentinel, one of the finest swords the Forge Bound have ever made. With this, I could recreate it if you want. Tell me about the forge. Gestures the nearby anvils. If you want to upgrade your weapons and armor, you could use any of the anvils. Should be simple enough if you've got the materials. If you need something that requires a master smith, like forging a one-of-a-kind item, come talk to me and I'll see what I can do. I want you to forge something. Certainly, Fight Finder. Alright. Ooh. Research Heart's Blood if you have access to a library. Ah. Cool. Sentinel can be created with access to a forge. Oh, so we can just straight up make Sentinel. But we would need a library to do Heart's Blood as well. Enough money to add. Oh, wow. Iron Rings. Whew. Okay. Recruits needed at Forge? What the hell does that mean? And then a lot of hide. We'll give plus 20 to control life, and you could make a shit ton of rings out of it. So you would actually make money if you decided to use it that way. Because I believe an iron ring is 1,000 rings, so you would more than double your money if you chose to use it in this particular manner. Okay, what about the commander's plate? 6 armor. Whew. Modifies apply the lash, will of command, call to battle, resurges, and undying. Okay. Instantly swap positions with a companion. Both you and your ally receive a bonus to vitality and finesse until the end of combat. These effects scale. The commander's plate. Plate's renown. Wait, what? Does that mean that, like, as the stuff gets better? Like, as you use it, it gets better? Maybe? Spear. A good spear, mind you. Finesse and magic defense. That's actually a loss of money there, I think. Wait, is it? Oh no, maybe not. It's actually a huge increase in the money that you would make off of it, actually. Headhunter is a weapon. Holy crap. A really fucking good weapon, too. But you need plans for that one. And we need recruits, which I don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. Nightwalker boots. Teleport behind an enemy and attack, dealing significant bonus damage. Hound's hide mantle. Pride of the Forgotten. All kinds of stuff. Ooh, an upgrade for Barrack. That's cool. A shield specifically for him. It's pretty neat. I didn't realize that there was stuff that's specifically for certain people. Yeah, so that's only for Siren, the cloth slippers there. That's kind of cool. I didn't realize that there were things that were specifically for specific people. Did not realize that. Two-handed, pretty badass two-handed sword. Silken gloves. Oh, Sentinel. Actually, Sentinel is the one that we unlocked. But it's a two-handed sword, though, which sucks. Yeah, that's no good. Silken gloves. Simplicity. Oh, it's a badass, it's 5 to all magic skill. It's a badass, staff. Shock-based. That's pretty good. Sorcerer's Blade. Oh, so this is good for Ebb, because it has the Control Gravelight and Atrophy ability. Although it doesn't say that specifically for her, but that is indeed what the abilities on it are for, anyway. Alright, that's pretty cool. Can't craft anything, it looks like, though, which is unfortunate, but... select a weapon or armor from your inventory to upgrade. Oh, so we can just straight upgrade stuff. Interesting. What if I want to upgrade this? Okay, so you can't upgrade everything. Oops. Okay, so I could upgrade certain things, but not everything. So I don't know what the hell this Forge Recruits needed. I don't know what that means. I like that you can upgrade your existing weapons, though, and turn them into better stuff. That is pretty cool. So this is where I could upgrade his armor and things. Since you can't take his stuff off normally. Which is neat. I like that that's a thing. I do like that that is a thing. Oh, I can upgrade his weapon too. Interesting. See, some of these are not that big of upgrades, but some of them definitely are. It just kind of depends on what precisely you're looking at, I guess. Can upgrade her helmet. Alright. It's pretty cool. Man, that would make that a badass weapon. You know what I want to buy now? Is I want to go buy that really cool sword that was available from the one merchant outside and bring it in here and try to use the forge to upgrade it. Which would probably need a recruit to do, because apparently that's the thing. I don't know how one goes about doing that. Oh, first, where the hell did you come from? The game is building quite the little collection of spirals, aren't we? The Voices of Nerat was never one for keeping strongholds, but I can definitely see the appeal. Why did not? There's no point standing still. The Voices prefers to keep his forces busy and on the move, with the only restful hours between dusk and dawn. Besides, fighters in motion are less likely to rise up and challenge authority. Safety in numbers, but once you get people hunkering down to discuss the problem, suddenly everyone has a reason to kill the closest game boss. It's kind of true. The big, make no mistake, a determined army can knock one down if they got enough shovels and picks together. Don't be so quick to assume that you're invincible. As to what they are, try not to ask those kind of questions.
What do you need?
Alright, I kinda really would like to have her along with me. But the problem is we just don't have the space for it, because I really want to have... I want to try out Siren in battle. We need Lantry for healing, and yeah, I'm kind of stuck with... We are kind of stuck with people. Shouldn't... Oh, they're down there. I did not even see Ebb down there. And they don't show up on the thing. Your service, Fatebinder. Yeah, they don't show up on the, they don't, if you hold the tab here, they do not show up as people.
Spire has awoken to your presence. This is fascinating, and I admit enviable. If it turns out your connection to the Spires invites death and woe, my jealousy might wane. I've been mulling over
As
that
I would
structure we
expect.
found atop Vendrian's well. Would you be opposed to me studying the sculpture in closer detail? I'd perhaps
Not
work
at
a
all.
spell or two near the structure. Simple cantrips of gravelight by which to read and inspect, but I will not poke or shove the thing in any way physical or mystical.
Okay, and Gravelight is the magical term for the light of the moon, Terratus Grave, specifically when harnessed and manipulated for nefarious purposes. While the moon's rays are normally incapable of causing so much as a mild sunburn, the Tidecasters of Lawn study magic that can concentrate these rays into bolts and beams of searing doom. The Tidecasters have spent centuries trying to mimic and control the moon's tidal pull in the oceans, will often mention that diverting moonlight is the easy stuff compared to pulling and pushing the tides. But modern times have forced the School of Tides to concentrate on the more martial applications of this magic. I'm going to ask my permission. I don't want her to lose fear. I want her to gain fear, actually. Because she's almost at where I would unlock her fear ability. Observe and take notes only. No magic, no meddling. That would gain average fear, but also gain some loyalty. Make it wise. Major fear. Fuck. I do not want to lose major fear with her. I want to go with number 2, but I do want her to actually be able to use magic to try to, because I'm wondering if she'll maybe learn more about it if she's able to use magic and stuff. And I want her to be able to learn stuff about it, because I want to learn more about what the thing is. I'll just go with if you think it wise, of course. I can get fear with her some other way.
Thank you. Next time we have a good moonlit night, I'd best settle in and see what sort of magic perturbations I can sense from the sculpture.
You do that.
What is it you need?
We'll return to our travels for now. Do any of these people have stuff to talk about? Lantern
So,
does.
your latest acquisition has me thinking about the spires some more. By all accounts, they go as far back as the old walls. Over the centuries, the nobles of the tiers have claimed the spires, but they've only ever battled over the land at the ground level of the monuments. I've never seen the glyphs of a spire light up in all my years. Not until you show up. If this were an isolated incident, I'd be confused. But it seems the spires, plural, are somehow connected to you. What's your secret?
It is a surprise to me as well. I've studied at Tunon's feet, proclaimed edicts, broken them too. I'm sure I've been exposed to all sorts of arcane powers. Alongside escapes Lantern, and he sticks his quill in his mouth, chewing on the tip. His head tilts from side to side, muttering, "Inshort half words." I always do want to know what you're thinking.
If I had the words for it, I'd share. I'm just not sure what to make of it. I'm realizing how much more there is to learn.
We'll talk a little bit further.
Of course. How can I help?
Taking lots of notes about what?
All kinds of things. My mind is old. Memory's a sieve. Keeping track of you, noting what I hear of the war, scribbling down reminders to myself, that sort of thing.
Isn't it safe to be writing on your arms that much?
Oh, certainly not. But it depends on the ink I'm using. Too much cerulean and I can't sleep. But just the right amount and I can write all night. The red ink will give you swamp bottom if you drink it.
Oh, God.
Absorbed through the skin, it'll make you taste colors and smell music. Speaking of which, I should change out my tip. I use 3 kinds, sepia, cerulean, and a red that's never the same shade. My recipe needs work. I like having 3 colors, but they also provide different states of mind for writing.
Uh-huh. Your inks sound like fun. Can I try them?
Oh, no. I'm trying to observe you. Corroding your mind is not part of the plan.
Huh? Alright, so we need more reputation with him. Okay, Will, I don't think there's much else we can do here at present, at least. Although I think there is going to be some things that we can do down here in the bottom. So let's go check that out real quick. And then I actually might go outside and see if I could talk to... I may go outside and see if we can talk to the Forge guys that were outside in Lethian's Crossing, although I might do that off camera, just because I want to see if there's some way to recruit them for our Forge up top. Because maybe that's what we needed for that Forge recruit thing? I don't really know. But I'm kind of hoping that... That's a new way to open the door from the side. So... if that's the case, how the hell does one get in, open that door then? Because there's definitely looks like there's a lot more to this map. Like you can even see, like there's definitely something back there. So it's not just like random. It's not just like random stuff. And what I think happens. Old wall antechamber. What I think happens is I think you can go inside the old walls eventually, but which is like what would be back there. Because obviously this other direction leads to the Spire. But I think this would actually take us into the old walls, and we could do something in there too, but that doesn't appear to be a thing at the moment. Sadly. Alright, so we will go outside here for a second. I'm going to run to the Forge, if we have time, without making this episode too horribly long. I might try to run over to the Forge area, the outside Forge area here, and see if those people can be recruited to our cause. Because I don't really know how that mechanic works. I don't really know what that mechanic even is. Mages in the Forge bound will be called to your Forge, where they can construct powerful items, including... rare artifacts. Yeah, which is what I want, but... where's the Forge here? Okay, it's over there. Okay. Who the hell are you? Why are you, like, lurking in the background there? The walls are creepy. I don't know how the settlers live here. Alright, what about Biatus? Nope, nothing to talk about with you. And you are not the guy I was trying to talk to. I don't remember which merchant it was that had the weapon that I really wanted to buy. I don't have the money for it right now, but if I sell a couple things, I might be able to get the money for it. Maybe. So... Everything's crossing. Pioneer stuff. Sarah made is important enough for Kairos to want it for himself. Good sense to move some of us forward about here to Lethian's Crossing. Okay, that doesn't help me in the slightest. Alright, Sure. Oh, we got a theme from the Fate Binder. Court is all abuzz with the news of the Civil War. Representatives from the chorus in his favor are having little shouting matches in front of Tunon. Oh wow, we're like maxed out with Tunon. Interesting. Okay. Having little shouting matches in front of Tunon, the petitioners to the court seem swept up in talks of who will crush whom, and if and when Tunon will bring down the gavel and stop the fighting. What has me more intrigued is the other story out of Endrin's Well. Tunon sends you on what I thought was going to be a one-way trip to the well, and not only do you live, you somehow claim the mountain spire. And you broke Kairos' edict too! Such things make a little civil war seem so trivial in comparison, at least to those who can separate the message from the noise. Tell me, what was it like to break the edict, and how is it you took control of the spire? Explain the experience as best you can. I don't want to do that. I want to respond with questions of my own. You know that the wording of the edict would entail. Did you advocate that I be sent on what was likely to be a one-way journey? Your questions seem to imply that my actions of Endrin's Well were orchestrated when they were, in fact, the product of my responding to a chaotic situation. Nothing more. Dealing with two petulant, disagreeable Archons occupied with what precious time I might have spent undermining... What precious time I might have spent undermining Kairos. How about you tell me what you know first? You were the first one who taught me the value of never being tricked into self-incrimination, and how could I possibly argue with that sort of wisdom? Yeah, we'll send it. We shall send it. It looks like that lowered my... It looked like that lowered my favor slightly. But not enough for me to want to go back on it. Definitely not enough for me to want to go back on it. Find a way to the Ocean Spire and the Blade Grave. Due to the edict, navigating there might be near impossible without knowing the way. You could travel to the Blade Grave and determine a safe path to the Spire. So that, I guess, is our next objective, I suppose. So I will see you folks then. Take it easy. Have a good day. We have claimed our second Spire after solving that little bit of a riddle on how to activate the thing. And we have built ourselves a forge on top of it. Which, at the present moment, I can't do a whole lot with. Although I could upgrade some of my gear. But that would require a great deal of money, which I kind of don't want to spend right now. Because not only do we now have an upkeep, it's not very much of an upkeep, but an upkeep nevertheless, we do also, of course, have to... we do, of course, have to deal with trying to buy more equipment and stuff, which I would like to buy some good equipment and not just try to, like, do upgrades or whatever via the shop there. Which isn't a bad idea, mind you, but I would like to get some really good equipment and then upgrade those. Like, I would like to maybe buy Vileton here and upgrade it. Because this thing would be really good. Doesn't have armor penetration, which would be my one thing that I would like it to have, but it does have that poisonous ability, which I think might be potentially even better. I just don't know how significant this poison effect is. But having said that, I think I would prefer to upgrade that, if possible. It is also conceivable, entirely conceivable, that we won't be able to upgrade this. Which would be mildly unpleasant if that actually is the case, but... well, I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. I might try to buy Vileton here before I leave. I don't really want to spend all that money on it, but... I mean, we do have some money that we can spend, so... I suppose it's not that bad of an idea. I just really don't want to spend all that money. If I can help it. I think I replaced that with the Forge Bound thing. I could sell Rotten Ruin. I kind of want to keep it though, just because it's a cool weapon. Even if we're never going to use it again. Although we might be able to upgrade it. That's not actually a terribly bad idea. No, we'll keep it for precisely for that reason. I will keep it around. Bronze guitar is not really worth it. That's not worth it. It looks like we can't upgrade like the named stuff for the most part. A lot of this named gear that we have, it looks like we can't do anything with. So I don't think I want to fiddle with that kind of stuff too much. So we can fiddle with it, but I don't know that I want to fiddle with it. Hold on, what? Oh, okay, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay, well that actually gives me plenty of money then to buy the thing. Which I'm totally down for. I wish I knew if we would get another heavy armor person. Because I would really like to have another heavy armor guy, but... oh well, like somebody that we could use normal heavy armor with. But, alas, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. So I'm going to buy Vileton, because I really like this weapon. I really, really like this weapon. So I'm going to buy it. I'm going to keep the hammer around. I'm going to buy this, though, because it does more damage than even the Iron Dagger there does. The only thing that we lose is the armor penetration, but it makes up for it with a poisonous effect. And, because this is, I think this is really, like, the best weapon that I've seen in the game so far. And I think I could do some really cool stuff with that. So, oops. I don't know. I'm not going to sell the Iron Dagger, though. I will keep that at least for now. And, yeah. Alright, so, I will see you folks in the next episode. So take it easy, have a good day, and thank you for watching. We will travel to... I guess Sentinel Stand is where we need to go. We will travel there next time. Traveling to the Mountain Spire might actually be slightly faster, maybe? Not entirely sure about that, but it might be slightly faster as far as getting us to Sentinel Stand. It might be a little bit closer. It doesn't really matter, but I will see you folks then. So take it easy, and have a good day.